welcome to the honcast.com presentation on Break Your CPK. Gonna be your shoutcasting Nelson. Joining me is Zero here as a co-caster, and boy, oh boy, do we have a surprise for you guys here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is not your normal shoutcast. This is not your normal competitive game. DreamHaun's going on. It's a lot of fun, but it is not happening tonight at this time because we got some Midwars action. We got our Midwars Face Off coming at you. Team DOGKaiser taking on Team DivA in a best out of 3. That is right. You're getting a sneak peek live here on honcast.com, checking out the new Midwars map and seeing what it's all about. So really excited to be here. Ziori, you're joining me as a co-caster. How you feeling, man?
I am feeling fantastic. I am so excited to finally see this Midwars map, and this is actually going to be the first time I'm seeing the map. Just got access to the test client today, so I'm really excited to get in there and see what this map is all about, get down to the nitty-gritty, as you put it, Breaky, and see what these two teams are all about.
Yeah, really excited. Obviously, I'll let them know that we are good to go. So, again, this is myself and Ziori. I have actually got to play it a couple of times. Ziori fairly new as well, so we don't know everything about the map by any means. So we're going to go with the learning experience with you guys. With that said, now, as you can see here, this is the picking stage. Now, I bring that up because it actually is a little bit different. Both teams get, I think it's 3 blind bans. So both teams, they actually ban 3 heroes. The team captain, it's blind, so you don't know who they're actually banning. And if the teams happen to ban the same hero, it'll just be that ban. So that's what we're looking at right here with 5 seconds to go. As you see, the bans are now, they've came out. And also, as you see, both teams actually chose to ban Devour. So as a result, Devour was banned, and then only 4 other heroes were banned. Instead of 6 heroes total, it was only 5. Then it turns into an all pick, and look at that! Everyone just instantly picks their heroes. I love it. So that's kind of how the game mode works, just to kind of give you an idea. There's 3 hidden bans for each team, and then it goes into all pick mode, where it's spam click and you hope for the best. So that's what we're looking at. What do you think about that, Ziori?
Well, it's certainly very interesting, and I like the idea of the blind ban. I think that's an interesting mechanic that definitely works well here, though. Interesting that we see DOGKaiser's team know exactly what they're going for, pick it right away, whereas DivA's team slowly taking their time, and you have to wonder, is that planned just for suspense, or are they making their decisions on the fly? So it looks like they are locked in, though. And yeah. Oh man, some interesting heroes on the board. Yeah, and DOGKaiser are so excited about their picks that the webcam freaked out right there, as you saw. But so back to the in-game interface. But yeah, as far as the heroes go, and oh boy, look at this. What is this? This is Midwars, baby. That is right. You are tuning into some Midwars action, as you can see. So before we go over the hero lineups, obviously, we want to take a look at it first to give you an idea of what is actually going on here. So this is the Legion starting area all the way down here. On the left-hand side, the Hellborn starting area is up here. Now, you notice they're actually teleporting. This is a teleporter that you can actually use right off the bat. It takes you over the ledge instead of having to walk all the way around. Of course, Sacrificial Shrine right here, that's the end tower, same as Force of Kaldivar, and he takes you into the middle. So it's just an easier path to get the middle so you don't have to walk all the way around. But as you can definitely notice as well, I'm sure, it's very condensed compared to the Force of Kaldivar map. It's a solo mid, or it's a mid lane, but at the same time, it's definitely a little bit smaller in that sense. But still, it is also, you see the river actually going up top here. There's actually some jungle creeps that spawn up in this area, so in case you want to do just a little bit of jungling, there's only 1 camp. And then, of course, there's Transmutanstein and Zorgath here at the bottom, the equivalent of Kongor, actually down there at the bottom side, if you choose to do so. So, yeah, that's mid-map, baby. What do you think, Zoe? I like it. I think it pretty much achieves its goal. Of course, there's only 1 lane, and it's kind of that perfect size. Like you said, there is a little bit of jungling, but you know, everyone's pretty much stuck here in the close-knit environment that is the mid lane with 5 heroes apiece. So it is a huge. I mean, even with my camera zoomed all the way out, I feel like I can't gather every single hero at the same time. So this is an adjustment, getting used to a 5v5 team fight off the get-go here, Breaky.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy, and that's the thing. Obviously, here as casters, you know, we're like, well, how do we cast this? Because, you know, this is completely different. But no, we're just here to have fun. Obviously, not taking this too seriously in terms of a casting sense. But yeah, there is money on the line in the sense. Again, the winning team, if you voted for them, you do get 200 silver coins. So I want to take it a little bit seriously at the same time. So with that said, let's go over the lineups now. Of course, we'll start with Team DOGKaiser over here on the Legion side. And we are looking at Hammerstorm, Aluna, Pyromancer, Forsaken Archer, and then Kronos. Now, I'll say this much. Again, I don't have the most experience with Midwars, neither do you. But both of these teams, and I can vouch for this, they went to lunch together. They went to dinner together. These guys were planning this out. They had strategy sessions for quite a bit in terms of this best of 3 series. DOGKaiser and Pew, they really do have a rivalry, so they want to make sure to win. Very competitive players, so...
Definitely.
What do you think of this lineup, though, Yuri?
Yeah, I mean, the Legion team in particular, you can see a lot of AoE. Luna with that power throwing the AoE stun, Hammerstorm going to throw that stun onto Draconis as they battle over the rune. It is going to go to Team DOGKaiser. DOGKaiser himself actually going to be the one to pick it up. We see both teams sort of going at it. A nice, what is that, pitfall there from Gladiator. But this Legion side is some clear AoE. You know, Pyromancer as well as Forsaken Archer, followed up by Chronos. So a very synergistic team. And a nice mixture of roles as well. Of course, having Hammerstorm as that strength hero.
Yeah.
I mean, with Chronos, there's always that fear of that, stacking all of that AoE that they have. And given that 5 people are all together, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, a Chronosphere seems pretty
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking about, too. I mean, a Chronosphere definitely seems pretty damn powerful in this mode. No doubt. So obviously once he hits that level 6 mark, wouldn't be surprised to see some initiation factor going on. Maybe even a Staff of the Master with that set. Oops, wrong screen right there. But a Staff of the Master obviously allowing his teammates to even move inside of the Chronosphere, albeit slow, but still they can move inside. So I really wouldn't be surprised to see that. Again, this is a completely different mode, so you're not necessarily going to see all the same things. In fact, we do see initiation right here. Draconis in a lot of trouble. Pandaru! No, he gets on meals from my curse. Come at the last second. You see Chronos in the meantime dropping. That's going to be the Bloodlust kill coming out as Thunderbringer being played by Xander K. Your great community manager getting the Bloodlust kill right there. So Hellborn team, Team DivA, starting it off right.
Yeah, definitely right. You can see how the engages go very, very back and forth, and that Accursed proving to be very worthwhile. But while we're at it here, let's take a look at the Hellborn side. We do see DivA playing that Emerald Warden, and Accursed, Draconis, Gladiator, and Thunderbringer. So a slightly different take on the team. I mean, there is still quite a bit of AoE. Of course, Draconis, very, very AoE-intensive hero, as is Thunderbringer, as well as Gladiator. The Accursed... Probably, if you had asked me before that little Bloodlust kill, I would have said Accursed seems like an odd pickup, but, he was sort of the reason they were able to turn around that Bloodlust kill. So, Accursed seems to be working very nicely as we see them fight over the rune spot yet again.
Yeah, the rune spot, 4-minute rune coming up. Chronos going to jump on Draconis. It is going to be a haste rune, and it looks like Chronos picking it up. So now Draconis in a little bit of trouble. Obviously going to try to go around it. Only Chronos chasing, but Draconis no doubt going to die right here. The taunt goes up, and Pandaru. No, in comes that curse, though, from behind. In comes Thunderbringer, and now Chronos the one that needs to be a little bit careful, perhaps. He is going to haste rune away, and will be fine. So I'll tell you this much. I mean, again, being a Midwars match, you would think the concept be pretty aggressive and a lot of action, and we're definitely getting that, but these teams playing pretty solid, keeping each other alive. You know, they're not overextending. They're going for those runes at the right time, and definitely showing that they're taking this seriously once again. So that is definitely fun. Fun indeed.
So I do have a quick question. The rune always spawns at the top, or is that just purely guessing?
It always spawns at the top, yes. I do know that, yeah. It's always at the top, so there is only that one rune spot. It will spawn at the every 2-minute mark, as it is, of course, in the regular map as well. So.
Right. I'm really digging on that one creep spawn. Just in case you will pick me up, go over, get yourself some Vulture Lord.
Oh, we see initiation right here. Chronos up to Draconis, and Draconis will fall. Curse try to put the heals out in time, but just not enough. Chronos taking a lot of return damage, but not going to be enough to take him out. So 1-for-1 exchange, or 1-to-1 now in hero kills between these two teams.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, we see some more action coming out. Accursed actually getting dangerous. The power throw coming out, and Accursed almost going down. Now Warden going to get caught. There's the time leap to finish him off. Thunderbringer doing a lot of return damage as well. The whole Legion team, for the most part, is pretty damn low. Chronos with about 9 hit points, barely going to be able to survive. So, see Hammerstorm throwing that stun. Luna with the power throw, going to pick up that kill onto Gladiator. And that'll be all she wrote for S2 Muffins. Now Burrow in a little bit of trouble. The volley not going to connect, unfortunately. So it seems every engage is just this back-to-back mess. Back and forth, both sides. It's kind of hard to call until the very end. But thinking about it, I really like this Gladiator pickup. That harass is going to be huge. His passive harass, it hits everyone that's in his path.
Yeah.
So, with all 5 heroes here in the mid, if Gladiator gets out of control, he could be a really powerful asset.
A couple of notes to make on the Midwars map, again, kind of take away from the game a little bit, but one is you may have noticed the resurrection timer. It is very, very, very short compared to the normal map. I don't know the exact seconds, but early level you'll see even like 3 seconds. All the way to the max level, I think it's a maximum of like 15 seconds. So it's nothing too long, nothing compared to Force God of War. Again, the point of this map is to really be a lot of action, constantly getting you back into it and getting in the front line. So another big thing to note is the Oh god. Well, for one thing I didn't want to bring up is this is it actually. Okay, so if you die, you do not lose any gold. Again, kind of like not like the normal mode in that sense.
Okay.
You don't lose any gold, so obviously dying, you know, it does encourage a little bit more suiciding in that sense, or really just going balls to the wall, as we always say here on Honcast. And also, a good strategy, you know, if you want to go back for whatever reason, or if you're about to die to the enemy, you actually go get yourself killed by the neutral creeps, obviously not giving them gold, but you don't lose any gold at the same time. So, some strategies to keep in mind there. But yeah, some notes also to make about this Midwars map.
Definitely. It looks like we could see an initiation here. The volley going to follow up, and no, they aren't going to follow up with anything else. Is there any difference as far as experience gain, your static gold gain here? Casual mode effects, are they here? Do you get extra for taking out those towers? Do you experience for that?
I believe it is the casual mode effect, yes. Again, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, we see Emerald War to get bursting down on the stun rotation working out right there for the Legion team. Excellent burst coming out, and they're going to be fall back and be fine. But yes, I believe it is that casual mode aspect. I don't think it's exactly casual mode, to be honest. Maybe a little bit adjusted, but it is definitely more than normal, as you can see, in fact. So 440 gold right there.
I figured the static gold gain would be a little bit higher because everyone's sharing one lane of creeps. Obviously, no one's really going to farm too well. If you look at the creep scores, it's pretty an instance where you're kind of forced to share farm, as we've been talking about somewhat recently on Honcast. You know, the experience gain seems to be a little bit buffed up as well, as you see heroes already level 4, level 5. Cursed actually still level 3, but yeah, of course, kills helping that as well. But it's kind of interesting so far. You know, I kind of agree with you. I would have pictured a little bit more aggressive hero killing. But, you know, it is game one after all. With both teams, as you mentioned, very competitive. Kind of want to carry that momentum of a game one win. And it looks like there's going to be some initiation from the Legion side. Again, not the most follow-up. Hammerstorm actually getting dangerously low. Looks like he's going to be able to survive just fine. It does seem, though, the core item here is that power supply.
Exactly, and I definitely wanted to bring that up too, so I'm glad you did. I mean, it's pretty common sense when you think about it, but when it's a 5 versus 5 constantly, all in the same area, having a power supply, mana battery first, and of course eventually that power supply will be arguably the most well-worthy investment in a Midwars match. I mean, it'll be 15 charges constantly with the way action goes, as you can already tell in this game. So, yeah, power supply, in fact, pulling up that, again, you see the mana batteries and power supply on every single person. So, yeah, no surprise to see that. I will make a note, though, of the matchup we have here, of the heroes that we see. Very interesting that our Hellborn team, they only really have one stun, and it's not the easiest one to land for that matter. I mean, Gladiator with the Pitfall, of course, obviously his ultimate will definitely bring that as well, but other than that, they have no really powerful CC at all coming out here on the Hellborn side. I mean, obviously silence and pushback in that sense, but they don't have stuns other than Gladiator, whereas the Legion team, technically all 5 can stun if you include Kronos in that, of course. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, we just see the burst down on a DivA right there, so the captain going down for his team, and that's his 3rd death of the game now, so DivA doing a bit of feeding here early on.
Yeah, definitely struggling a little bit, and I like this Legion team's lineup. But as you mentioned, you can really see that huge amount of AoE synergy they have. DOGKaiser just continuing to spam that stun. Of course, Ring of the Teachers on both sides, the most imba item in the game. Not surprised to see that. Not surprised to see DOGKaiser himself carrying his prized possession, which is that Ring of the Teacher. So looks like DOGKaiser may actually potentially be moving into a fast Abyssal Skull here, as he does have the Ring of the Teacher as well as the Trinket of Restoration, which is interesting. I'm actually just particularly interested how DOGKaiser is going to build, just knowing that he's the lead of balance.
Well, you saw right there, Xanarchy actually getting himself killed by Transmutant Stun on purpose because he's very low on life, wanted to go back to regen, and also maybe buy another item or so. So, again, you do not lose any gold for deaths in that situation, and you don't want to necessarily feed because it will still give them gold if they kill you. So, again, just smart tactics going on there. Shows you the experience that these two teams definitely have when it comes down to that. But yeah, DOGKaiser, no doubt. And again, as we showed in the biographies earlier, maybe if you didn't catch it, but if you just don't know, DOGKaiser and DivA actually are professional Dota players, or former professional Dota players. So they definitely have a very competitive background. They both played on the same team for that matter for a little bit as well. So they are definitely two very, very competitive individuals of this genre, especially, and there is a bit of a rivalry there. So again, there is I know you may say, oh, we're just trying to hype this up, have fun with it. No, they actually are very competitive against one another, so that's what makes it all the much sweeter. But right now, Team DOGKaiser, I got to say, if you voted for them, feeling pretty good because They're up in game one here, early on, 5-1 in Hero Kills. In fact, they're going to go in once again onto Draconis. There goes the crippling volley, and we see Draconis dropping, but again, heals from a curse coming out. Draconis trying to from Kronos. Kronos the rewind OP, but he will go down in the end. But he did get the kill onto Draconis just before, and there's that Gladiator ultimate. It's not even going to hit, but Hammerstorm goes down before, and now you see Thunderbringer doing his damage. Oh, the Wolves not enough to kill Burrow onto Luna right there, but that Thunderbringer ultimate will pick up a double tap for him. So a lot of exchanging right there. And look at that, the Hero Kills. Hellborn team picking it up.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we have an absurdly even game. It looks like the Legion side actually had a pretty big advantage, so that kind of shows you how fast the state of this game can change with one big engage. We just see a little bit of skirmish over the top rune. There's going to be a double damage picked up by Draconis. There's Hammerstorm stun followed up by Forsaken Archer, but they are not going to be able to finish him off. A cursed heal will keep Draconis safe and sound. Pandaruhu on the run, though. Uh-oh. DCA going to get turned around on here, and that is going to be bad news bears for Kronos. He is sitting 1-3 at the moment. Kind of unfortunate for Kronos, though. See, this is another one of these games where Kronos can be playing that initiation role more so than anything else.
Yeah, and again, now that when he hits that level 6 mark, I'm really interested to see him use that Chronosphere and how effective that truly is going to be for this team, because they do have a lot of ranged. I mean, imagine that on top of a piercing arrows from Forsaken Archer. Obviously, Pyromancer doing her nukes, and even a Luna having that level 4 power throw now can set it up very nicely in that Chronosphere. So yeah, the synergy is definitely there for the Legion team. Also want to make note of Emerald Ward again being played by DivA. Look at the ward or the traps that he has down. These 3 traps kind of in that triangle formation. And making sure that if they do get initiated on, that it will be difficult for the Legion team to kind of move around. And that, when you think about it too, I mean, that seems like that could be a pretty powerful tool in this Midwars map. So again, that's another great thing about this Midwars map, is that the strategy, it is so different than your normal game. We do see initiation right here. Kronos actually jumping in. There goes the ultimate from Gladiator, though. Gonna hit for Forsaken Archer. Barely time. Kronos will fall in the midst of it all as he initiated too much in right there. Went balls to the wall. And for DJ did not pay off right there. In the meantime, we do see Dangerous Dan taking on Muffins, though. So 1 for 1. We're tied at 7 Hero Kills apiece, though.
Yeah, still remarkably even. Hellborn side actually starting to pull ahead a little bit here. What's kind of interesting to look at as well is that damage tab. You go ahead and press 5. Thunderbringer leading the way, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, Thunderbringer is such a smart pick here because of that Lightning Rod. He's doing all that AoE damage every single time he casts. So, even though this Hellborn team seems, I guess the synergies aren't quite as obvious as the Legion side, they still have heroes that are all very well suited for this kind of clustered up mid-wars environment. I do want to ask you about Transmutestein, though, as we see DOGKaiser going to go ahead and take a free trip back to the well. When should we expect to see Transmutenstein as well as Zorgoth kind of taken out in a serious manner? And what's the bonus? Is there a token of life or a buff or anything?
I knew you were going to ask me this, and honestly, I actually didn't double-check on that, so I really am not sure. I know that Transmutenstein in the Watchtower map does drop a 4-second kind of smoke cloud item where it makes your whole team invisible, kind of like the Valkyrie Prism. I don't think it's the same, though. I want to say it is a token of life. Okay, token of stealth and token of sight. Okay, so it is the Watchtower. Thank you, Macrohard, right there, for coming through, not making me look too bad right there. So the token of stealth and the token of sight. So I guess it is the same exact thing in the Watchtower map. I believe the token of sight is basically like a bound eye, almost, if I'm not mistaken. So permanent buff until death. So it's a permanent buff. Okay, there you go. Shout out to Macrohard, doing work right there.
There you go, doing some work. So very cool, though. So my next question, or the addendum to that, is when are these teams going to have a chance to actually try that? Is it to the point where one hero gets far enough that they can solo that down? Do you split up the team
I would think it's when you push this first tower. Wow, by the way, the burst under Kronos. There comes that Gladiator ultimate once again. Gladiator chases the flagellation going to go off. And the Chronosphere coming for Kronos. Here's a chance, though. The piercing arrows on top. Not the greatest positioning, though. And look at a curse doing work right there. Keeping Gladiator alive. Xander K on that Thunderbringer in the front lines. Needs to be careful, though, a little bit, perhaps. No, he doesn't need to be. Forsaken Archer gets taken out as a result. So well played right there once again from our Hellborn team. The Chronosphere was beautiful, but the piercing arrows, not the greatest direction. So unfortunately, WZA not lining that up all the best. But to go back to your question, I really think it's after you push that first tower, you hit that 15-16 mark perhaps, so that mid-level game really, then you group up and look to do it very quickly, is what I would think. But it can be difficult because, again, the respawns are so fast, and it is somewhat of a smaller map, so it definitely isn't the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Given those small respawn times, generally we see Kongor attempted after a genocide, after a very promising team fight, but here, that isn't really the case. I mean, yeah, you can have a promising team fight, but everyone respawns so quickly you can't really capitalize unless you really move and then have the damage to the kill transmutant Stein very, very quickly. So we're kind of curious to see when these teams attempt that. As far as item choices here, Pyromancer has picked up a portal key. I think that's one of the first big items, as well as Xander K over here on Thunderbringer, sitting on a Codex. So continuing with the burst damage, no doubt. And other items, so you do see mana rings apiece, 2 on the Hellborn side, 1 on the Legion side. And I guess this is still Hellborn and Legion, right? This,
yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, all right, just making sure. I don't see signs anywhere, so.
No, yeah, that is a good point, but yeah, it's definitely Hellborn and Legion here between these two teams. And, you know, kind of speaking about items, again, this is kind of just theory crafting a little bit, but you would think that, obviously, since you are clumped up so much and it's all team battles, that auras would be even more effective in a mode like this, because you're always clumped up. You're always taking advantage of one another's aura, so, you know, that Abyssal Skull seems like it could be a very, very, very powerful tool, but obviously nothing in the works just yet for something like that, at least what I can tell, so I am curious, though, if that comes about. But the Ice Brand picked up on Draconis, so we see a Pitfall going right there. Hammerstorm adjusting, or moving in a little bit too much. That Thunderbringer ultimate, a lot of damage but no kills, and that turnaround, that correct Chronosphere once again. Where's the piercing arrows? I don't think she has it ready or something, did not use it for whatever reason, and Kronos does end up falling. There goes Pyromancer, Luna already dead. What a turnaround from the Hellborn team. Pandaruhu doing work right there under Kronos. I must say, Idager on this Accursed too. He's been a boss mode. I know he likes to play support in a lot of games. He's been the boss healer this game, doing very, very well.
Exactly. I mean, that was the one hero on this Hellborn roster that I was a little bit skeptical about, thinking, you know, maybe it's just all about AoE damage, being able to just totally lock down the opposing team, have all that follow-up damage, you know, as we've been talking about piercing arrows with that Kronos ulti followed up by every other hero's AoE disable. But Accursed has proved to be just so effective. He's turned around quite a few kills. Idager, definitely a top-notch Accursed player by all means, but I mean, he's even 2-0-2 right now. He's got the highest KDR of anyone in the game.
Yes, he does. Undefeated. Disputed champion. Thunderbringer right there will end up dropping. Kronos obviously jumping in. But we see it time and time. I mean, Kronos keeps on putting himself in very vulnerable positions. He already has those 5 deaths, which is the most on his team by, in fact, quite a bit, and tied for the most of the game with Muffins over there on the Hellborn side playing that Gladiator. So, and that kind of brings up another interesting thing where, you know, it seems like those melee heroes that may not necessarily be the greatest early on in the game, may need a lot of farm time, you know, like your Mage Bane, like a Kronos even, like a Swiftblade or something like that, may not fare as well in a mode like this when you really think about it, because again, they just put themselves constantly in vulnerable positions. Seems like more the strength melee, like this Gladiator, for example, could be the better option. But I guess Kronos, you know, with that rewind, which is only level 1 currently, but you know, that definitely is something there at least. So, but yeah, he constantly is putting himself in vulnerable positions, and it's showing with his deaths, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really like the Draconis pickup. That's the one that I'm really hung up on here, because Draconis just does so much AoE damage. It's so well suited. As we see right there, they pick up a kill on a Dangerous Dan pretty easily. You know, just Draconis using that Q, followed up by the Wolves from Emerald Warden. And Dangerous Dan on Pyromancer just getting dropped. I mean, he's certainly not the tankiest hero by any means, but also sort of just showing the synergies of the Hellborn side that aren't quite as obvious. I think it's the Legion side. And Emerald Warden is a good pick as well, with that bird just doing mechanically constant DPS, and then, of course, the Wolves. I mean, this is really well suited for Emerald Warden as well. All things considered, this game is just one really long engage, and long fights always benefit the Emerald Warden.
Yeah. Yeah, I love your point, though, about Draconis. And again, it's a hero that I'm not too familiar with, because again, I'm one of the newer heroes, and obviously haven't seen him on the competitive scene at all, and, you know, really haven't seen him very, very few times on the public scene, but his ultimate definitely seems like could be very powerful in a game like this. But Gladiator, in the meantime, Gladiator while falling, that Gorton comes out, kiss his ass, indeed. Dangerous Dan saying that to Muffins right there. Mission accomplished. Draconis coming in, though, takes a stun from a Luna, but also the Pyromancer, but again, Accursed is there to support Draconis. It seems like Accursed is just babysitting this Draconis big time, and again, it continues to work out. So Pandaruhu, you know, he's definitely, he's been considered one of the better players in the office, if not the best, depending on who you talk to, and showing some work here. So one of the designers doing a good job here in this game, definitely stepping it up.
I mean, that's exactly what DivA said. I've got the best player in the office on my team, and I don't know if we've seen quite enough to say best just based on this game here, but certainly looking very promising, doing a fantastic job. He is a surprisingly low level, though. Somehow, Emerald Warden has really pulled ahead in the XP per minute. I'm not really sure how that happened. If you look at the XP per minute chart, it's almost dead even, except for him, that one outlier. And I'm not really sure where that came from. We are going to see a little bit of manning up here from Draconis, as he does have that Accursed shield. They are chipping this tower down, though, and I feel like getting that first tower kill in this game is half the battle in Midwars. Once that tower goes down, you really start to feel a bit of a disadvantage, or is that maybe not the case? As I guess you start to get a defender's advantage.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the way to think of it too. Hammerstorm, by the way, though, is going to get easily picked off to the side, but you see, obviously, there is another tower, but it's right in front of the World Tree. So that, again, that's how just simple this is. There aren't the double towers. You don't have to fight through all the base. It's just literally 2 towers, and then you're at that with the World Tree Sacrificial Shrine. We see the Hellborn team making an aggressive play right here, though, and the Legion side and Team DOGKaiser are really losing it right now. We are going to see Draconos getting turned around, but again, our curse is there for the clutch here. All right, David deserving all the credit. The Chronosphere coming out. They want to kill this Draconos, and they will not be able to, though. Again, he barely stays alive. Hammerstorm will fall. Hat trick coming out right there for Xander K on Thunderbringer. Double tap for Dangerous Dan just before, though. And now they're trying to fight this back. Dangerous Dan going to use a Phoenix Wave. Finally, Draconos goes down. Thunderbringer wants to kill. There goes the Gladiator Ultimate coming out. And yes, it is going to hit a couple. Thunderbringer falls, though. And now Gladiator on the run. So he's all by himself. No support just yet. He'll take a Hammerstorm stun. More than likely fall right here. And they are going to complete the fight back. So the Hellborn side, Team DivA getting a little bit confident right there. But in the end, Team DOGKaiser with the pushback.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of an overcommitment from our Hellborn side, but they still have a pretty solid lead set for themselves. And, oh my gosh, Breaky, Pandaruhu going to right-click a Frostwolf Skull. This game just got a lot more interesting. If we take a look at the inventories, items all around starting to come out. Gladiator getting kind of close to that Helm of the Black Legion. Xander K going to go ahead and pick up an Arcana, which I would presume...
Spell shards.
Spell shards? Yeah,
Spell shards.
I was thinking spell shards. I hope spell shards. But Pyromancer going to be moving towards the Hellflower. So Dangerous Dan maybe taking, I guess, a potential for a slightly more carry-centric Pyromancer, of course. We've seen Hellflower quite a bit recently, Breaky. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dangerous Dan is a very solid player in his own right as well. Of course, definitely has done a lot of work with us on Honcast in the past, and now he's the lead of the RCT team. So doing some testing here for Heroes North and S2 games, working at S2 games. So, but yeah, he's a very good player, and you know, obviously that makes sense. You know, being able to portal key and get the Hellflower initiation, always very powerful. Meanwhile, DOGKaiser on this Hammerstorm and a little bit of pressure as Draconos runs into him. They see that Frostwolf's going out. I'm sure their mind going, oh crap, this is not good news. Draconos going to charge in with the place. In comes Chronos, though. No Chronosphere just yet. It's still on cooldown for another 10 seconds. Thunderbringer's ultimate going to be used right there, but again, no kills coming out of it. Draconos is dropping a Curse out of field, and there's that kill on a Hammerstorm. DOGKaiser will fall to the ground right there. I see him a little bit disappointed on the webcam. Draconos sitting in the background still. Chronosphere is now up, and he is coming back into this fight. So will DJ find that opportunity now? It doesn't look like it. The Hellborn team actually going to fall back and play it safe once again. But there's the Glowstone pickup by DJ on Chronos. So as I was kind of guessing, I mean, I think it actually is going to be a Staff of the Master. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, Staff of the Master pickup on Chronos feels like it's a rare choice, because it probably is, but all things considered, I mean, it makes perfect sense here. We talked about just playing that initiation role. We are going to see Dangerous Dan in a bit of trouble. He's going to fall. They're going to be able to catch Gladiator here. They do catch him, but they're not going to follow up. But it makes perfect sense to fit that just a pure initiation role. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised to see him with an Astrolabe. I mean, the Luna's picked one up, but to be able to move in, initiate, as you said, put himself in harm's way, you know, being able to follow up with a heal. I think Staff of the Master is going to do 2 things, make him a little bit tankier, but also, of course, support the team.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see that because, again, just not something we never get to see, but in this game, if he gets that opportunity, it will be pretty cool. Look at Draconos, though. No, it is Draconos, yeah, sorry. And Draconos setting up with that Invis rune, actually, trying to get himself positioning. Chronos will jump in, though, and there's that Chronosphere once again. Emerald Ward getting person out. DivA survives, so again, that clutch yell's coming out from Itemization on that Curse. Now they're looking to turn this around. The Pitfall will not hit, but a great attempt right there. Chronos in the meantime trying to run away. Good Galvanize from Hammerstorm, though, and DOGKaiser will end up helping to save Chronos in the meantime. So, but they catch Thunderbringer as Forsaken Archer being played by WZ right there. Able to catch him. Draconos at the front lines again, though, a Curse comes up. Will support him, and look at them. They're almost doing some camping here at the graveyard a little bit. But they are going to start going more towards the tower as Forsaken Archer in a lot of trouble. Has that shield breaker. Taking a lot of damage, though, but she will be fine in the end. And again, Draconos caught, but will be able to get away. I keep going back to you, though. This is a curse, man. I mean, by the way, was Jereziah banned? I forget what the actual bans were. I know Behemoth and Devourer were banned. Other than that, if we can scroll all the way back up, yeah, I definitely can. So,
the bans were from the Legion, Devourer, Alonia, and Artillery. On the Hellborn side, it was Flint, Beastwood, Devourer, and Behemoth. So Jeremiah was still on the board.
Jeremiah was on the board. It seems like that heal support, team fight oriented, could be pretty powerful, but not chosen to get here. So interesting. Alonia ban. That's definitely interesting. Obviously, the very new hero.
Yeah, artillery as well. I was just thinking
that too.
It's really quite strange. Devour makes sense. Behemoth, one of the best defenders in the game, makes sense.
I can see artillery.
Yeah.
The dude just sits back, puts that circle down, and just pushes in damage like no other. So, in a game like this, I could definitely see artillery being very ban-worthy. Again, not a hero I have too much experience with, but even the very little I have, I can understand why.
I've played him in practice mode only. I haven't even seen him in a pub game. So
Behemoth and Devour definitely make a lot of sense too. I mean, Behemoth,
the
fissure can just be really annoying, and then Devour, of course, with the hook. I mean, good luck dealing with that.
Definitely. I mean, Flint is. I mean, some people will argue that he's one of the hardest carries once he gets enough attack speed. So I can sort of see Flint in a situation like this, being pretty powerful. It feels a little bit ironic to see Frostal Skull on a fire-based dragon. Just
How
feels,
dare he? It shouldn't be possible, right?
It should be like Firewolf Skull in this situation.
Firewolf
I don't know.
Skull.
I've never seen that combination of Frostal Skull and the Draconis, but just doesn't feel right, man. It doesn't feel like the lore is there.
I understand what you're saying. But it is actually happening. Believe it or not, your eyes are not telling you lies. It does actually exist. Again, if you are kind of just tuning in, this is the Midwars map competition. We got Team DivA taking on Team DOGKaiser. As you can see, both teams drafting their team in terms of the S2 roster here, and going in a best out of 3 today. This is the new Midwars map set to launch next Friday, guys. So it will be available for you guys to play and check out next Friday. So I know you got to be looking forward to that. We're all looking forward to it here at the office. We're all very, very excited for it. And again, it's just it's going to be a lot of fun. So, but they are taking this very serious. This is a competitive mindset here going on in this game. And speaking of that, trying to jump to Cronus, but again, a Curse is there to support. We do see Gladiator in the meantime taking a lot of damage from Pyromancer, but the Coda is going to be coming out, and Pyromancer will have to fall back before it gets in too much danger. So the Hellborn team, they've been attempting to push the secondary tower now for the last 5 minutes or so. Our Legion side and Team DOGKaiser, however, able to hold it off for now. Want to delay a little bit longer. At least you do the Staff of the Mastery on Kronos, let's be honest. Yeah. That's what we're really waiting for.
Yeah, definitely. It will be sort of a ways off, though. I guess it's about 2,000 away, 2,100 or so. So it's a slow farm, but we'll get there eventually. We see, Dangerous Dang going to pick up that kill on to Xander K as this fight continues. There's that Gladiator ulti, and it looks like it is going to connect with Forsaken Archer. Are they going to have that follow-up, though? No, it doesn't look like it. There's that Chronosphere coming down. It's only going to catch a Curse, but this could be their opportunity to finish off Draconis. And indeed it is. Itemization not going to be able to get that heal off in time. And they're going to try and man up on Chronos. No, it looks like they thought about it, but not going to make it happen. So it seems Defender's advantage is a very real thing here in this Midwars map. Of course, being able to spawn much closer to your Tier 2 tower right in front of your throne, certainly helping a bit. Seems the Hellborn side really struggling to get this tower down.
Yeah, it's not easy, that's for sure. And he said defender's advantage. Obviously, again, you see them teleporting right here to get over that ledge to make it a lot easier to get back to the middle of the map. Again, you really want to encourage this constantly aggressive play. We do see Hammerstar Porter King. He did deactivate the Nullstone, though. Ooh, a misplay by DOGKaiser big time. He was going all out on the DivA right there. I don't even know if he just didn't realize, though, but he actually deactivated the Nullstone as a result of that. And he ended up getting turned around on. Look at this onslaught coming out for the Hellborn team. This is an opportunity now. You do see Kronos coming back. No Chronosphere, though. And vulnerability is going to be forced to use right here by our Team DOGKaiser on the Legion side. We do see the Frosted Skull double damage to Kronos. So much damage right now. And it is probably going to drop right here. Pyromancer comes in, but now the World Tree is exposed. Gladiator gets caught out. Kronos jumping in again. No ultimate coming out from him, though. He'll just put in some right-click auto attacks. As you see, Kronos is going to be fine. Turning it around, it looks like. And Kronos now actually in a lot of trouble. And yes, Kronos will go down. A Curse with the clutch heals once again at the last second. So, wow. I do apologize. The reason why I keep saying Draconos is because they have a Kronos. And so it keeps getting really confusing. It is Draconis, but I keep saying Draconos. But anyways, you know what I'm saying.
That double damage rune, Bricky. That was sort of the changing of the tides in that game. Pandaruhu just doing so much absurd damage. That was really what Forsaken Archer tried to man up on him, and it was just way too much damage. We will see both Itemization and Pandaruhu port back to the base. Compliments of Zorga.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I mean, now that the World Tree is exposed, I don't know. I mean, is this the time when the Hellborn team is got this in the bag and all they need is that one team fight and they can push the throne? Or is it... I mean, it's hard for me to judge how close DOGKaiser's team is to death. You know, is this like a super creeps type situation? Is there any way to get super creeps in this situation?
No, I don't believe there is, unless there's a time limit, which I'm not actually aware of. But
there are barracks behind the World Tree, ranged and melee, with towers next to them.
There are. You know what? I never actually looked into that. So
that has to be why the towers are because these towers in the corners are in really weird spots.
It's actually a very, very good point. I think you're right. Now that I think it, that makes sense because if you take out the melee racks, it will buff up the melee creeps, of course. So that could be a case of instead of trying to go straight for the World Tree, want to maybe amplify the push. But it seems kind of odd though to do that. I mean,
they're behind the tree.
The World Tree is right here. So yeah, I don't know if that maybe is just the first show in the end. I don't know, but I'm sure I'll get some confirmation on that in between games. But yeah, right now, no doubt, Team DivA is in the solid lead here, and they are going to start making their push towards the World Tree in the meantime. Of course, Draconis right now, the charged hammer picked up. Look at that. Look at the damage on a danger stand right there. And Pyromancer will fall to the ground. Kronos free in the background, but it's not going to be nearly enough. The rewind proccing, but he will end up going down. Look at the onslaught once again coming out from Team DivA, and I think Team DivA may have just done it right there. They are well on their way to victory, and this World Tree is dropping quickly. Pyromancer going to try to end it all. The ultimate and everything used on Draconis, but again, a curse is there with the clutch heals. Keeps him alive. One last chance, perhaps, coming out from Team DOGKaiser. Kronos pours in. They want to kill Draconis, but it's just not happening. He is just too damn powerful, the hero and the player, and I think Team DivA may actually do it here.
Yeah, it looks like that was a pretty serious minute from Draconis there, just standing his ground, tanking all that damage on the Legion side, and it will be enough. You know, that World Tree is 15 armor, so it's a pretty serious magic damage reduction, as we see. It took him quite a while to kill the World Tree itself. But GG, Breaky, game number 1 here, going to Team DivA.
Yeah, indeed it did. So congratulations to them. And with that said, 1-0 in favor of Team DivA here. Team DOGKaiser are going to have to do a little bit of strategy thinking. So congratulations to Team DivA, but it is a best out of 3, so definitely stay tight, guys. We at least got one more match coming up, if not 2. Itemization definitely showing his emotion right there after that game 1. So sit tight, guys, though. We'll be back. Going to be another game coming up here. Stay tuned.
Cannot get in there. The shells are going to be used, and he's going to pour up another dot applied. And that might be enough damage. He does not have another take cover. He's change your boots, change your boots, change your boots. Now he did a change of damn boots.
We kill the Swifted, by one's aside, and we'll take Congors, token alive. They try to gank us, we turn the tides, because of Kraken, token alive. Sunday to Saturday, you getting mad at me, because I'm picking flux and messing with their gravity. Sunday to Saturday, you getting mad at me, because I'm picking flux and messing with their gravity. So go, pick support, got a plan. Every time, use a slope from the spider. Pew, kill noobs within Eastwood. Charges building all up in my striders. We can't lose, killing Congo Reds a team at level 1. Cause of guns and feeble and the armor. DivA from Andromeda, making my way to the lane in time. A lot of dudes cry when they die, but we're not on the side. Bombardier blowing them up like it's the 4th of July. We pick healers all day, every day, it's just how we survive. I just cannot seem to die, believe me dude, I have tried. From my ult I get full life, cause we're low up how to rise. Some people call me a curse, but the nuke's just running high. So I rise with a shiver in the sky. In my back, always turn to the